Hi, Cynthia. I just want to look at your Myers-Briggs personality test argument essay a little bit real quick with you. Hey, you did a really good job of setting it up. The format looks a lot better. You started doing some citations or references, so that's a lot better. So good job there. I think this is really solid, like second draft. So we're going to work on a little bit to get a third draft going, if you will. So here's a couple of things I want to kind of point out to you. One is up here, you did a really good job of kind of introducing the subject and what you're referring to in your arguments. If I understand correctly, this is your thesis right here, is that this is going to help you. You're going to know what it is, why it's important for you to know your Myers-Briggs test. So right here, reminder, you want to have like, this is actually not common knowledge to know that it's gentle, caring, creative, that you actually have a citation for that one. Here's a couple of things I want to remind you of. This is more like an introductory paragraph that I'm seeing from there. So in order to make it like your first body paragraph, you want to connect the dots. So up here, you did a good job of saying the personality trait and leadership skills given help the person in their career choice based on your personality traits and leadership skills. For example, if a personality trait is caring for others, you need to be best fit medical field. Well, how do you know that? Well, how do you know? Connect the INFJ and how you know that in the medical field, it would be your personality trait caring for others is important. So you have to give an example for your Myers-Briggs test, and you have to give an example from what you researched in the medical field of connecting those 2 points together. So here you say there can also be a strong trait for creativity. This would actually be another new paragraph or something like that, or a transition sentence into the next paragraph. So it sounds to me like you need to kind of fill in the example here of what you mean by how a personality trait and leadership skills and that kind of stuff, but really how you gotta have caring for others connects with medical field connects with being caring for others. So you're gonna have to bolster that paragraph right there for that reason. And then here it sounds to me like you kind of had almost a transition sentence of saying it also needs to have a strong trait of creativity. And so this next paragraph should really be referring to creativity now because that's what you just introduced to me. And then you kind of work your way down. So I think that applies to the rest of your essay also, is that you need to make you're making a series of claims versus giving me the actual examples. So then finally, your final paragraph. So notice how your final paragraph here is only a sentence. Well, it's not, or 2 sentences. It's not a matter of how much, but the content. So right here, your last paragraph should actually look not the same now, Cynthia, but similar to your opening paragraph in that you have 3 main things. You have some sort of like closer statement, just like you would have an attention grabber, have kind of like a closer attention grabber. You should review your major points that you just made, meaning what point did you make here, which was I see personality trait of caring for others in the medical field. What point did you make here? What point did you make here in terms of your weaknesses? So that's number 2. You got to review your points. And then number 3, you got to remember is kind of wrap up your thesis or remind your thesis or review your thesis or rehash what your thesis is as a closing statement. So this last paragraph should really have probably 3 or 4 or 5 more sentences to kind of review what you have just accomplished. So let's do that for number 3 here, or draft number 3, and then see how we can go from there. Well, good job. Keep working hard on this. It's getting better and better each time.